Earlier this week, Google announced a whole bunch of AI features coming to the Chrome browser. I have access to them on my laptop, and I wanted to run through some of them right now in real time. So this video is going to be mostly cut-free, mostly edit-free, all done in one take, and we're going to go over some of these features that Google launched for the Chrome browser. Now, just to give Google a little bit of a benefit in case things go wrong, a lot of these features are early access, so they're only available to people who have the Pro and Ultra subscriptions to Gemini, and they're only open to people who speak English here in the United States. So there are limitations here. Google's rolling this out very slowly and sort of doing more of a testing rather than a full rollout, but let's see just how advanced this AI really is. So the first thing we're going to start with is this new system, which has Gemini in a sidebar and allows you to communicate with the tab that you're currently on. Previously, when you hit Gemini, it would pop up into its own window, but now it's all on a sidebar. So here we go. Let's check this out. Over here, I'm at bestbuy.com. I've got the Windows laptops section pulled up. I've already preloaded the full list of laptops here just to save time. So let's go up to Gemini here. And yeah, you can see that we're sharing the Windows laptops Best Buy. So this page, or this tab I should say, is being shared to Gemini. So it knows any of the questions that I ask. It knows to look for the context on this page. So let's just come up with something simple. Let's just see, are there any laptops here that run Panther Lake? So pretty simple question. The answer is probably no. I don't think any Panther Lake laptops are actually available to purchase yet, but let's see what Gemini has to say. Intel Panther Lake series have just begun hitting the market. While the Best Buy page you are currently viewing mainly features previous gen, several Panther Lake laptops are now available for pre-order from major retailers. So basically it's telling me, no, this tab does not have Panther Lake laptops, but here's a way that you can try and find them. Pretty helpful. So yeah, I would say that's a win for Google. Now, this is me communicating with one tab at one time. So one of the things you can do with Gemini is we can close this out, and then I'll open a new tab on this OmniBook X. So now when I open up this Gemini tab, you can see down here that it's still sharing the Windows laptop Best Buy. So this page is what is being shared with this conversation. Then I go over here and I open up another conversation. Now we're talking about this page for the HP OmniBook X. So I can have two different conversations going at the same time, one about this page and one about this page. So that's helpful. But a cool thing that you couldn't do before is have a conversation about multiple tabs from one tab. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna close this out, and I'm gonna go back to the Windows laptops page. We're gonna start a new conversation, and as you can see back down here, it says sharing Windows laptops, but I'm gonna open up these other tabs. Oh, wrong button there. There we go. So now you can see it's sharing 4 tabs. So that's the tab that we're currently on, and then these 3 tabs that have opened up here for these 3 different laptops. So now I can ask about all of these tabs. So let me just see, are there any laptops on these tabs with a Ryzen processor? So now it's going to look over all 3 tabs and give me information based on that, based on those tabs, instead of just only looking at this one thing. So it says, yes, several laptops in your tabs feature AMD Ryzen processors, and it gives me some information here about this, about which ones I could buy and all that. So so yeah, lots of cool ways you can work with Gemini in this new flyout tab, and a lot easier to work with rather than the previous way, which was actually opening in a separate window, and that was really confusing because you didn't really know like which tab is it referring to, how do I make sure it knows which thing I want to talk about, whatever. Now, since everything's in this sidebar, it's a lot easier, and the ability to have multiple tabs open within one conversation is pretty cool. All right, so let's try something a little bit more difficult. So one of the things that Google is talking about is the ability to have an agentic AI experience within Chrome. And one of the things that it gave as an example was having the agent buy something for you based only on information that you give it related to your email. So in other words, you're not specifically saying, hey, go to this website and buy this product. That's cool and all, but this is actually a step better than that, in that you can tell it to do things related to your Google accounts and then have it make action upon them. So in my Gmail account right now, I have it filtered down to just things revolving around Nintendo. I just bought a Nintendo Switch 2, so I'm gonna have it rebuy the same exact Nintendo Switch 2 bundle I bought, which was the Mario Kart bundle. So we're gonna give it a fairly complex question here. So I'm gonna say, I recently bought a Nintendo console. Please buy that exact console again. So this is complicated. So I'm not telling it to buy a Nintendo Switch 2. I'm telling it to buy a Nintendo console that I previously bought. So in order to figure this out, it's gonna have to go into my email and it's going to have to figure out what I bought. So that's what it's doing. Oh, wait. I cannot complete this request because I am unable to make purchases. Okay, well, that's weird because, yeah. All right, let's try this again with a different query. Okay, so let's say I recently bought a Nintendo console. Please go into my email and find it and then buy it again. Let's try that. Oh, I have to stop this task first. This is a little complicated, Google. I don't know. Hold on. Let me cut out of this. Let me start a new conversation, new chat, and then no, I want to start a new chat. Why are you doing? Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. Little hiccup there. All right, so it's connecting to Gmail. And it's thinking about it, trying to figure out what it can do here. Okay, I found that you recently purchased a Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle. Would you like me to proceed with purchasing these same items for you? So, yes. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, task started, so that's good. That's a positive. So what's gonna happen now? Okay, cool, here we go. So it is navigating to bestbuy.com. So there's a little thing here that says we can switch tabs. You can see up here that you have these icons representing that the agent is doing work in these tabs. So let's switch to this tab so we can watch it do its thing. Okay, there we go. It just typed into the search bar the bundle that I previously bought. Now we are on the page where that bundle is. So you can see it right here. So it's not letting me take over the task. So you've got this little like red window tint that happens, letting you know, don't mess with this browser page because your agent is currently doing stuff. But over here, we've got a button that I could take over the task if I want to. But let's just let it do its thing and see what happens here. So selecting the Switch 2, adding Switch 2 plus Mario Kart bundle to the cart. All right, scrolling down to find the add to cart button. Okay, it looks like it scrolled past it. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, so now is it going to add this protection thing for $79.99 because I don't want this. I just want the console added. So let's see if it's smart enough to do that. Going back to search for Switch 2 Pro controller. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's remembering that I also bought the Pro 2 controller. I didn't just buy the console, so it's also rebuying the controller that I had in that Gmail listing. So that's proof that it went into my Gmail and found that specific receipt for that transaction and is taking care of everything. Okay, so we're adding to the cart now. Okay. So what happens next? Does it take me to the cart? So it will not buy this for me. So one of the things that Google built in as a safeguard is that it will only get me to the point where it's added the things to the cart and gotten it ready for me to actually hit pay. And the reason for that is obvious. Google doesn't want the agent to be able to act on your behalf and actually make those purchases. Because, if something went wrong, it's going to buy a bunch of stuff, it's going to spend a bunch of money, and it's going to cause a ton of complications. So it's only going to take me as far as the checkout page. So what do we got here? So where are we? Adjusting quantity of Pro Controller to 1. I don't know why I needed to do that. It only added one thing, but maybe it added 2 accidentally. Proceeding to checkout. Okay, we're making progress here. Okay, so now I am at the place order page. So this is it. This is the final page, and it should hand over this information to, or this transaction to me now. And there it is. So look, it says take over tasks. I have added the Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle and Switch 2 Pro Controller to your cart and reach checkout. Please review the items and complete the payment. So then I take over the task. And now I'm on the page. Everything is added. Now, obviously, this was way slower than it would have been if I just did this all myself. I could have just gone to Best Buy, added these 2 things to the cart, and done the checkout page. But, the idea that it's doing this complicated task of going into my email, finding that receipt, and going into Best Buy and replacing that exact same order again, that's complicated and pretty impressive that happens all within, the browser and all done by an AI agent. So very cool. So great job, Google. We had a little bit of a stumble there, but great job nonetheless. So one more thing I want to do, this is one more thing that the Chrome browser can do. I have taken this photo. This is a photo of my living room area over here. And one of the cool things you can do with the new AI features within Chrome is you can have it use Nano Banana within the flyout sidebar. So we're going to open up Gemini again, and let's just do something silly here. Let's see, what would this room look like with way more nano leaf lights? So it's going to look at the image, and then it's going to create an image based on that for me, based on this request. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just going to give me a bunch of information. Okay, so that didn't work out so well. Let's try this again. I want to know what my living room would look like with way more nano leaf lights. Let's see if this works. Nope. Okay, well, Nano Banana should take over this query and create an image based on my living room with all sorts of nano leaf lights, but I guess not. So yeah, we'll chalk this one up as a fail. So that's too bad for Google there. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So there are a lot of browsers out there that are competing with the Chrome browser right now. Chrome browser is right now facing the most competition that it's ever faced because so many browsers are deeply incorporating AI things into them, which are making people leave the Chrome browser behind and try out these other things. So Google obviously wants to prevent that from happening. So a lot of these AI tools are things that you can find in other browsers, but at the same time, the fact that it's all in Chrome in a browser that the vast majority of people around the world are using, and these tools actually work somewhat here is pretty cool. So yeah, very exciting. And once again, like I said at the top of this video, these features are in beta. So the fact that they're slow, the fact that they didn't work, as far as the Nano Banana one goes, it's going to get better. This is just an early rollout of these features. But yeah, let me know what you think. Are these features making you more inclined to stick with the Chrome browser, or are you still not coming back to Chrome because you've left, or are you really excited about these, not excited about these? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.